is Senator Amity. Senator Amity?
Yes, ma'am.
Senator Amity is doing Senate Bill 703.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chairwoman, this is a local bill dealing with Ascension Parish only, and it is, I guess most of you know, Ascension is the fastest growing parish in the state, top 10 in the nation in growth. We don't have any sewage, and we don't really have any public water, and we have a lot of traffic problems, as most people know. And what this bill does is simply give the parish the same authority as the state has as it relates to expropriation. There are several other places that have it. East Baton Rouge has had it for a while for certain projects. A lot of cities have it. I think the city of New Orleans has it. I think the city of Gonzales has it in Gonzales, but our parish doesn't have it. And one thing that's happening is they plan for a project, they start trying to get the property, and they get one or two landowners that delay the project, and it makes the cost of the project sometimes go up by millions of dollars. So it's an effort to save money and cut costs, and like I said, it's a local bill. I have Parish President Tommy Martinez here and the Chairman of the Council. Also here, Mr. Chris Lohr, that I think wished to speak. Mr. Benny Johnson on the Council. There was a resolution passed by the Council last week that passed 8-3 in support of the bill, and I'll yield to any questions. And I have Senator Brown here also. Tommy, you want to talk real quick?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm here in support of Senator Amade's bill. Our council, Tommy Martinez, Ascension Parish President. I'm in support of Senator Amade's bill. We passed, as he said earlier, a resolution 8-3. Our council supports this bill. I certainly support it. In the past, we've had several projects where we had problems in obtaining property. We had a road project that took us 4 years recently, and it was delayed because of landowners that didn't leave a will through succession. And you know, when you have to find all the landowners and identify them and mail letters to them, and it took us about, as I said, 4 years to get that project through. So as the fastest growing parish in the state of Louisiana at this time, we grew by 40% over the last decade, and we need the infrastructure and we need the tools to be able to build roads, and certainly we don't have parish-wide sewer, and we're going to need that tool also there. So I just would like to urge the senators to please support this bill. It's a local bill. We're not asking you to do anything other than support us in Ascension Parish. But thank you.
Okay. Are you going to speak, Senator?
Thank you, Ms. Chairman. Basically, I just want to...
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair. I said Mrs. Chair. Basically, I want to just rise in support of this bill. I know we had some other conversation about some of the issues dealing with this bill, but when we looked at the history, Orleans, the city of Orleans Parish, has the ability to do just what we're asking to do. As well, the East Baton Rouge Parish has the ability to do this, and we're only asking that this applies to Ascension Parish as well.
Okay.
Madam Chairwoman, I have two amendments that Mr. Bell has drafted. I'd like if someone could offer them.
Okay, I'll offer the amendments. Mr. Bell, you're going to pass them out or read them to us?
It's short ones. It's set 2322 and 2324. One of them, the first one, it just, on page 1, it takes out major infrastructure out of the equation. There were some concerns from utility companies and such that would include them, so we took that out. And so it's just going to say road, sewer, and drainage project. And then the other amendment is another amendment to take out, it's it's set 2324, and it takes out all the utility companies because they're concerned that when they do quick take on them, it kind of messes up with their ratepayers and stuff, and they like to have more time. So we're going to take them out the bill.
Okay, is there any discussion on the amendments? Let's separate them. On Amendment 2322, is there any discussion? Do I hear a motion? Okay. Senator Cortez? Move adoption of 2322. Is there any objection? Hearing none, that amendment stands adopted. And then on Amendment 2324, which discusses the gas, electric, and telecommunications, is there, do I hear a motion on that? Senator Broome moves favorable on that motion. And is there any objection? Hearing none, that motion stands adopted. So now it's in the posture. Senator Cortez, you have a question?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This may be for the parish president. He come back up to the table. Senator Amity mentioned that there was an 8-3 resolution. Tell me real briefly what the opposition to the resolution was. What was the members of the council that spoke in opposition? What was their concern?
Basically, they actually really weren't opposed to it, but they wanted the amendment to make sure that the amendment was in there, and that didn't say major infrastructure. They wanted to make sure that it just was for road, sewer, and those type things.
And so you think with the amendments, you could potentially go back and get it? Well, certainly if you're saying somebody had that opposition, that you would likely get a vote. But I'm not trying to put you on the spot with that.
Well, I don't know if we'll change all three. We'll change their vote, but I can assure you that I think they never actually rose in opposition of it. They just had some questions.
And it was all about major infrastructure, the buildings.
Yes.
So, and I know, Senator Amity, I asked you before about the buildings that have been brought to my attention. Now this with amendment is taking that out of there.
Well, certainly the goal of this thing is to help with roads and sewer. I don't know of any, my intent, just for the record, is not to go take buildings. This doesn't allow them to take things for economic development, industrial parkway projects, or like you had concerned. I mean, this is more or less to take probably a couple feet of right-of-way to improve some roads. We got a lot of roads that are below standards, and our parish at least is trying to take a step forward and improve them. We have a lot of traffic problems. You know, we're dealing with turn lanes and stuff like that. And that's basically what this is for.
Take me real quickly through and I've read it, but take me through the process. What happens?
Well, basically, right now, the way the parish is now, they have expropriation power. But they go to the landowner, and the landowner says, no, I want more money. So then they got to file an expropriation suit. And that may take 2, 3, 4 years. Well, by the time that finishes, the cost has gone up millions of dollars. And plus, it gets delayed. What the bill does is it allows them to go to the property owner. If they don't want to accept it, they take the money, they put it in the registry of the court, the amount that they offered, and then they can do their project while the court proceedings going on.
The landowner has access to that monies, to those monies?
Yes, he can take it.
He could take it.
Immediately. Yes, immediately. He can take the money.
Yeah, we have the lawyer for the parish too. That
O'Neill Parrington, I'm the parish attorney. He can immediately take the money while the deposit, while the litigation goes forward, and he can litigate for his damages, for his loss, and everything like that while this all goes on. If he's successful, the difference he's entitled to his expenses plus attorney's fees of 20% on top of. It's the same process that the state DOTD uses. Same process the United States uses on Title 40.
Okay, and so you're saying that you would lead to the same ultimate conclusion.
It's the exact same conclusion.
You would just do it maybe potentially 5 years earlier, 3 to 4, 5 years earlier.
Yeah, depending on how long that court proceeding got dragged. I mean, most of them are probably 2 years, I would think, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, 2
but
years.
Some can go on as up to 5 years. And the main thing is if they don't have, if we got a piece of property, there's been no succession done. We don't know where the heirs are. They might be 10 property owners. Then they had that same
thing.
Cost them over $1 million because of that on one project on Worthy Road, right outside the city. So
Okay, that kind of clears up the process for me. Okay, thank
But
you.
there is opposition from people because the general principle of it, I think maybe some of the farmers and landowners statewide don't like it, even though it's a local bill. I mean, I have gotten calls. This bill, I've worked with people to make amendments before I even filed it. So, some people are never going to be for it. So, anyway.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Broom for a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Amade, on this bill, I heard someone say that this coincides with what is done on the federal level. Did someone say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Under Title 40, under 40 USCA 3114, formerly 40 USC 2885.
Okay. And as Senator Amade alluded to, certainly expropriation can be a little sensitive issue. But you noted and cited as well that Baton Rouge has the same law. Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, Baton Rouge y'all passed a bill some years back, and apparently it was for a project. It gave Baton Rouge the same power from 2001 through 2005.
Okay.
They did it on a time. Apparently, I don't know what the project was. It was before my time here,
Probably the green light project.
Oh, the
that
green
they
light
worked
project.
on.
so what they did was they passed the same bill. I got some of the language out of that bill. There are a couple other parishes that have it, and a lot of municipalities have it that I don't have a list of, but I think the city of Gonzales has it. And the state has it. The state does it all the time. And, I understand that it's sensitive, but we're trying to move forward, and most parishes don't even try and get it because either A, they don't have the money or the plan in advance to try and do something, but I'm actually excited that this parish is trying to do something. We've been fortunate with the economy to our tax base is hung in there, and
Like that.
Thank you.
I do have a question, and my question is, when you're negotiating and you take the funds and you place them into the registry of the court, can you tell me what kind of negotiation goes on between the person whose land you're expropriating and are they in the negotiation, or you just go offer them an amount and they accept what you offer them, or is there? I know that obviously I would think you would do fair market value, but I also know when some of these things happen, people's yards are messed up and you have to mitigate that. So can you tell me about that process?
Well, O'Neill probably can tell you better as far as doing it because I hadn't done it, but I know they have to do an appraisal.
We have to do appraisals before we can do that, and that's what you based on. Like you normally have a right-of-way agent who's negotiating with everybody. You're not going to do one person in a road, so you can have somebody negotiating, and you'll have a right-of-way agent, and you'll have appraisals. You have to have appraisals because if you're low, you're just hurting yourself. Because if you pay too low, and they can take that money out the registry of the court, they can sue you. They still get to keep their money. And in the end, the difference, if you put in $10 and the end is $30, they get the difference, plus they get all their expenses of the litigation, plus they get 20% on top of that difference as attorney's fees. So it's not a real smart move to put in very low amount of money because it's going to cost you way more that way.
I understand, but from a perspective of representing people that are poor, many people will accept it, and it's too low. It may be too low, and we can get an
Right.
appraisal to kind of say whatever we want to say,
Yes, ma'am.
basically. And if it's too low for a person that doesn't have the wherewithal or the means, then those people can't go to registry of court and get that money. They just have to take what you have, and most people would do that, and that's my concern with it.
But we do use appraisers. They're all going to be appraised.
And Senator Dorsey, they can do that now. I mean,
They can do what now?
well, I mean, the same. I understand what you're saying. That is a concern, but the parish can go now and take the property. It's just not
I
quite as
understand
quick.
that.
Yeah.
I understand it, but I still, I fight for people that are underprivileged, and oftentimes they don't have the same education as we do down here, and or the wherewithal. So I become concerned when you say you put it in the registry of the court, they can get it and then they can go sue because they don't have the funds oftentimes or the wherewithal to do it. That's my concern on it.